and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the very first video that I'm filming, and I just kind of wanted to give an introduction of myself and why I'm doing this and some pregnancy updates and how things have been going. I'm being joined by my little monkey, Luna, which if you're following me on Instagram, you would have seen her, and on some blog posts actually. So a little bit about myself. I kind of started Instagram social media stuff, I'm gonna say maybe about a year and a half, 2 years, no, more than that actually, 3 years ago, when we were living in London. I was just kind of taking pictures of things and meeting people, and just kind of, that's where my photography aspect kind of started. It's definitely a different kind of photography because it was more like stores and like flower shops and just pretty things that we don't have here in Calgary. So we moved back over a year ago to Calgary, and just kind of settled back into our regular lives. And I've been working for over a year in an oil and gas company, which has nothing to do with the creative aspect of things. Since moving back, I also started a blog where I kind of feature all aspects of my life in a way. So we do everything from the travel guides, which are my favorite things because being in London, it was really easy to go to other places and travel. There's a bit of food, drinks, and fashion. Not that I'm a fashion blogger whatsoever. I just prefer leggings and boots and just loose tops, so I definitely need to improve on my fashion aspect. I'm actually quite camera shy, so this is going to be interesting because I need to now be in front of the camera for the YouTube videos. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I kind of want to record the transition into motherhood and kind of the challenges, the milestones, the good and the bad that it comes with it. So it'll be quite messy. Well, I don't know if messy is the right word, but it'll be a learning curve for sure in a lot of different aspects, from like trying to learn how to do the editing of the videos and actually learn what my baby needs from me. So we'll see. It'll be interesting, but we have a lot of support, so it'll be good. It's good to be back home. A little bit on, let's see, I did have a list of things that I wanted to talk about. The pregnancy. So I do have a blog post on how I found that I was pregnant. I'll link it below so you can read it. But short story, or long story short, it just kind of happened in a way. And I was mainly worried because around the time that we found out, it was Christmas time, so there was like a lot of drinking involved, but everything's good from what we know so far. So I'm about 36 weeks now, so the baby could come any day now. We're prepared as we could be, but I guess you're never really prepared to have a baby. It's been quite a rough pregnancy. I don't know if you can see in my nightstand, but there's like a bunch of different pills that I gotta take every day. It's been not one of those like, oh my god, I love that I'm pregnant and this is the best feeling ever. It's been like, I'm quite miserable and when is the baby coming? Because it's just like, it's been a lot of challenges, but from what I hear, girls give you a lot more side effects than boys do. But with that being said, I have a friend who is pregnant and does not even feel like she's pregnant. So I'm quite jealous of those people that are like all glowing and, you know, this is just so great. But, you know, it is what it is. And we're getting near the end. A few weeks ago, actually, I got sick from a coworker, and it really kind of affected my asthma a lot. So I started coughing a lot, and then it kind of turned into a cold/light pneumonia, and I actually fractured a rib on my right side, which made things a lot harder. So I had to take like morphine and other painkillers to try and cope with the pain. But as the baby's growing, it's actually making it harder because she's adding a lot of pressure to the ribs. So I've actually been on bed rest, I'm gonna say for a month now, we still got a few weeks, 2 or 3 more weeks to go. So it sucked time-wise because you're kind of trying to finish things off and finish things at work, but then this kind of happened, which who knew that this was going to happen? And it's actually a thing that you can break a rib coughing. So that's kind of put a damper on things. And it's timing-wise, it's obviously not good because it's near the end of the pregnancy. So the rib itself can't heal till after the baby's born. But I am a planner, and I tried, because we actually found out the sex of the baby at 10 weeks. I did this like sneak peek blood test thing where you like poke yourself at home and then you send it off, and you know, I just kind of wanted to know what we were having. But because of that, it actually showed us or told us a lot earlier what we were having. So at the start, I really, while I still had energy and I was not, you know, I didn't have the belly, I wanted to try and get as much as we could done beforehand so that at the end of the pregnancy it was a lot easier for me and for everyone to kind of just, hey, the room is done, the nursery's done, the shopping's done, just kind of relax. So in a way, it was really good that we did that beforehand, which some people are like, you're planning too far in advance, but then with the rib being broken, it actually worked out in our favor. So there were still a bit of things to do in the nursery, like now, but not to the extent that it would have been before, because we also live in an apartment. We kind of had to move things around and get different like storage facility departments, or no, we had to get a bit of storage compartments to kind of just locate things for the baby in that area, specific area. I didn't want to rearrange the entire apartment and make it so we could fit her things in there. So we actually just bought this sideboard where all of her things go in there, from like the little bathtub to any of the bottles or any of the diapers or over storage things. I'll do a video later on about how we made the apartment baby friendly in a way. So having that done beforehand really helped us out, as well as about, I'm gonna say maybe 3 weeks ago, we noticed that the ceiling had a leak coming through. There was like a bit of spotting in the ceiling, and it's been a nightmare to kind of figure out where it's coming from, because above us is actually a terrace of the penthouse, so it's just concrete, so it's kind of a work in progress. They still can't pinpoint exactly where it's from, but we had to move out to my in-laws for a few days while they like isolated it. Because of my asthma, it has to be treated quite sensitive. So we moved out for a bit and then moved back in, and all the furniture was in the baby's room, and it was just kind of a bit of a nightmare. But we're back and we're settled now, as settled as we can be anyways. And I'll show you, like, we still have the, not the hole because we have concrete as our ceiling, but a patch missing of like the roof paint, just because they can't figure out where it's coming from. So it's just kind of a waiting game to see as they test out, like, is it the flower bed or is it the actual concrete or is it a leak? And so that part will take some time. So it's been a lot of things near the end of the pregnancy which have made it hard and not as enjoyable as it could be. But we're getting there. I'll put some videos up, or I'll do some inserts of what the apartment looked like while it was being isolated and they were trying to figure out where it is. Let's see what else. So just an introduction in the pregnancy. So the baby could really come at any point now. It's kind of a waiting game. I am scheduled for a C-section because it's weird. So my whole life, since, well, maybe since like a teenager, I've had dreams that I die while I'm giving birth. So I've had this like actual phobia of giving birth. It's totally mental, I know. So this whole time I've really kind of pushed for a C-section, which I do know is surgery and, you know, there's complications, there's always the risk of things. but in my mind I'm more at peace knowing that it's a C-section than giving natural birth. But then actually with the broken rib, you can't like use it, like use the pressure and like the pushing and stuff. So it's actually kind of good that it is already scheduled, because it would have to be scheduled anyways. So right now my due date is August 9th, but of course if your water breaks or things happen beforehand, the baby could come earlier. So at this point it's kind of a waiting game. It's definitely the last month. They're like, oh, you'll be so uncomfortable, you just want the baby out. It's very true. I am ready for her to come out. I struggle getting up from bed, from my chair, from anything. Everything's a struggle, and it's just, you feel uncomfortable. And because she doesn't have that much room, it's just, when she moves around, it feels like your skin's just stretching, which it really is, but it's a different feeling. It's not this like, oh, you know, it's so cute. It's like, okay, I'm ready. It's been a blast, but we're ready to move on to the next chapter, which everyone's telling me to enjoy the last few weeks and try and sleep, but I am having a hard time sleeping just because I get up to go to the bathroom so much. So I do nap and, you know, try and relax, do a couple of things. Not that I can do much because of my rib. It still hurts. It's not like when I went to the hospital, but it's not comfortable either. So between the energy, the baby, and the rib, I'm very limited. So I do not a lot of things at home. A lot of TV watching is happening, and a lot of like laying and napping and cuddling this little monkey, and that's it. Kind of taking it day by day. A lot of shows have been watched, which I know that I won't really have the time to when the baby comes. I will try and record as much of the journey as possible. Especially, I really want to try and cover the first few days with a newborn as a first-time mother, which might be hard because everyone's like, you barely sleep, you won't have time. But I will try and make the effort to kind of record the struggles and the waking up and the diaper changing. And yeah, I didn't do a baby class, so I don't know a lot about those things. So there'll be a lot of YouTubing in the next few days about how to change a diaper and burp. And we did do a CPR class, which I found really handy, just to kind of, you know and see and hear like how, you know, if the baby's choking, what to do. And so that was really helpful. So in that part, I think I'm a little bit prepared. But yeah, I do hope to have a video up a few times a month. I don't want to set any goals or anything because I just don't want to disappoint myself or you guys, like expecting a video like 2-3 times a week when I don't know if I'll be able to. I might record a lot but then edit later on when I kind of get a little bit more of a routine. So I might be a bit behind, but I'll definitely make sure to like name the date and kind of like how many weeks the baby is and the transition and everything. So we'll see. That's kind of the plan. Hopefully it all goes well. I know there'll be tears and from my side and from the baby side. But we'll see, and we'll just kind of wing it. And I don't think anyone's ever really prepared to welcome a baby. Maybe your second one you know a lot better, but as a first-time mom, just kind of see how it goes, and that's it. We'll see how this little one, which you can't really see her, she's so black. We'll see how she handles being a big sister. She does love kids, and she loves to play with them, and she's a people person. So I think she'll handle it okay, but I don't know how, especially when you first bring the baby home, how she will be with this little thing that doesn't do anything besides crying. I don't think she'll bark at her. I think she might just sniff her and maybe try and give her a kiss in the leg, or I don't know, we'll see. I do want to record it though, so I'll make sure to share that with you. And yeah, so welcome to my YouTube channel, and I hope you follow along in the journey. Make sure to subscribe so that you get notifications of new videos, and I will still be posting blog posts in time. I used to try and do one blog post a week, which is a lot. But now with everything that's happened, it's kind of been a bit scattered, but I do try and do like the food, drink, beauty, fashion, and travel as like a, I don't know if it's like a routine, but as a, try and hit those. I was trying to hit those once a month. I might try and just do 2 a month, but still maintain with that kind of routine. But we'll see. It might all just gravitate towards baby and experiences and postpartum things, but I do want to maintain the travel, even though right now I'm not traveling. I do want to try and incorporate pictures, and mainly pictures from kind of influencers or Instagrammers from that city, just so that you kind of see who I'm following and why I'm following in their photography. And because a lot of the places that we went to before I even started Instagramming, my pictures weren't up to the standard that I would like them to be. So I think it's great to kind of showcase other photographers. So I definitely will keep with the travel guides, just because I love them and I find them so fun, and you can just download them on Google Maps. But there'll be more of an emphasis on the motherhood type of thing. Same with my Instagram. So if you look at my Instagram right now, it's all just pretty houses and storefronts and flower shops, and it will start to gravitate very quickly, I think, when the baby's here, towards more of like flat lays and interiors and a lot more of the baby aspect. I do want to try and keep it very real and very raw, and although you might see a pretty picture, it might not really represent what the day is like, where I could be having a meltdown and going crazy because the baby doesn't stop crying. And so there'll be a lot more rawness to it, and I want to just keep it more simple photography with the baby as they start getting comfortable, more of like the inside indoor flat lay type of shots. And yeah, we'll see. I'll talk about products that I like and things that I bought that she didn't use or hated completely. And you know, we've kept it very basic, so there will be a post on like kind of like your essentials for the baby. So we didn't go out and buy a ton of crazy things. Like we bought, I'm gonna say maybe like 10 onesies per stage, because I know she'll be growing out of them really fast. And for like her little swaddles, we got like obviously the swaddle blankets, which you can use as like burp cloths or just like a blanket in itself. But I also bought the ones that like the Halo and the Dream Sleep, I think it's called, where you just kind of zip them up, which I've heard is really good when you're changing a baby in the middle of the night, so that you don't have to worry about this whole swaddle thing. So I kind of bought 2 different kinds, one where it's like her arms are harnessed in, and then one where her arms are up. But we didn't really want to buy too much of one thing because she might not like it, and there's just so much out there that it makes it very difficult to kind of pinpoint what will work for the baby and not. So at this point we just bought one of each really, and we'll see how things kind of go from there. If she really likes one thing over the other thing, then we'll buy a lot more of that. And same with her soothers, like and teddy bears and blankets, and we kind of have bought different types of things. But when she gravitates towards one, then we'll buy like 10 of those, just because I've heard you need to have backups of everything. And yeah, we'll see how it all goes. My next video that I would like to do is show you the nursery, and then we'll kind of take it from there on. The video after would probably be baby coming home / because I'm having a C-section, I'll be at the hospital for a few days, so maybe a little bit of that. And there won't be really long videos, just because I'm starting to get used to this whole new concept. But I'll do my best and try and give updates as they come. And yeah, I'm taking a year off from work, and my husband is taking a few months off, so I think at the start it'll be a great support just for both of us to bond with the baby and have that kind of learning curve together, so that I'm not going crazy by myself. I think that part is really key. And yeah, I do hope to travel with the baby as soon as we can. So I need to figure out shot wise, like what does she need for us to be able to fly and kind of still travel, because that is a big part of mainly me, I would say. I'm a big traveler, and like I could travel like all the time, but obviously you need money for it and vacation time, so it's a bit limiting. Our vacation time, or my vacation time here is good. It's not like in Europe where you get like, I think you get like 26 days and holidays, and it was a lot more vacation time over in Europe. But here I feel like it's still a good balance, but I would just love to have like 2 weeks off a month to go travel, which I know it's ridiculous. So we do what we can. London will always be kind of like our second home, just because we were there for a few years and we have a lot of friends, and it's just amazing how one city will always kind of impact you. But I'm happy we are back in Calgary, even though I miss all of the Instagram things. But the quality of living here is a lot better for us in our lifestyle as it is. So we do try and go to London, maybe ideally 2 to 3 times a year. And just because there's direct flights, it makes it really easy for us to just go from here to London. And then from London we can venture off and visit other family or new places. It'll be interesting, our next flight to London, how we will cope with a newborn and a 9-hour flight. I've heard it's easier to fly with babies when they're around 4 to 7 months, where they're still kind of like in the very sleepy stage. So that would be nice, but I don't know, we'll see. It's all like, right now at this point you just kind of wing things and don't make a lot of plans or have a lot of expectations, because you just don't know how things are gonna go. So yeah, that is it. I think I rambled on a little bit longer than I thought I would. It's a little bit awkward talking to a camera, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see how the video goes, and hopefully I can figure out how to edit it and put some nice music, and yeah, this will be the start of a new chapter of my life, both personal and creative wise. And that is it for us for now. We will see you fairly soon, hopefully with the nursery review. And that's it. Hope you guys have a good day, and make sure to subscribe and like the video. Bye.